Hello, welcome back. If you clicked on this video, it's because you hopefully clicked on it because you want to watch me talk about the spoilers of a book called Breathe With Me, and it looks like this. If you didn't click on it to watch this, then you're in the wrong place, or you clicked on the wrong video, or you're just nuts, or you're just sad and you don't have anything else to watch. So thank you for watching me talk about crap. But anyway, let's get back into it. I was going to talk about the spoilers. This is the spoiler version, so if you didn't see me talk about the actual book and what it was basically about and what, you know, all that stuff and what it was called and what the characters basically went through, go and watch that. I'm going to quickly just do a 30-second recap. I just talked about in that previous video without the spoilers that there's a character called Meredith Summers. I remember the S this time, and there was the guy called Mark Williams, and they were, this is the spoiler section, remember, they were sweethearts in high school. They fell in love, they gave each other their virginities, and the girl wants to be a dancer and wants to move to New York, and they're all planning to do that, and they have amazing sex, they say all the time. You don't see it all the time, they have sex like once, and then not in the whole book, but you know, from where we are at the moment. And then she decides that she's going to break up with him. She can't risk the distraction, and he's just going to distract her from what she needs to do. And she breaks his heart, basically. She dumps him. If it was me, I would have moved to New York with my boyfriend. But you got to make drama and a story for a book, so we break up. Well, not me, but, you know, they. So she breaks up with Mark, and it breaks his little heart. It's so sad, because Mark was so, like, a sweet guy, and I hate that she did that, personally, because it annoyed me, because I would have just stayed with him. But I know this isn't real life, but it just hurts to know that, you know, you dumped him, and now he's gone off, and he's been with other women. Even though he didn't love them, but he's had sex with other girls, and you were each other's first. You could have just stayed with him. You could have just been happy and figured that out and got married and had babies, and you would have been the only woman to have sex with him, and that would be the only guy you had sex with, and it would be the same for him. But you had to ruin that because you were just... I don't blame her though, but really, you know, it's a book, so the author had to like make some drama of why they weren't together to when it came them being back together. But still, if it was real life, by a guy like Mark, I wouldn't have dumped him. I would have gone to move to New York with him, and we would have figured it out until he dumped me like a year later because he found out I was a psychopath. But this isn't about me. Anyway, so yeah, she broke up with him, she moves to New York, she meets a new guy, not like that. She has a gay best friend, shall we say. I forgot his name. Wasn't it Jax? I'm pretty sure. And we found out that she has sex with other men, but it was just like guys that pretended to like woo her and then got into her pants and kind of just buggered off. Like, yay, we got the gold. You know, we got into the knickers. Now we can go up the exit door, the back door. She didn't do the back door. I made that sound really wrong then. I meant they just left after they did the deed. I'm making it sound like they did something else then. So sorry, I didn't mean it to sound like that. I just meant that they left through the door. Not, you guys know what I mean. Oops, be careful what you say. Think before you speak. I'm missing that little thing where you think before you speak. Even though I tell people to do it themselves. I know I need to do it more, but I forget. I talk too fast. Anyway, yeah, and you do get to see Mark's point of view and her point of view. We find out that Mark is still living in where they come from. I can't say that place. Settle or the SETTLE thing. That place in America that's really close to Portland and Forks, where 50 Shades of Grey is based. Settle? I don't think I can say it right. You know the place I mean, with that weird circled building thing. I don't know what that's called. It's just like a circled thing. It's like that means it's a city because it's got that weird building thing. I'm messing this up. But yeah, there's that. Anyway, so after that, yeah, we found out that her mum died of cancer. Meredith Summers' mum died of cancer, just so you guys know who I was talking about. So she has to move, she moves back to come for the funeral. Mark doesn't know that she's actually moved back. I think he thinks she just comes back, she just came back for like the funeral. and he's going there obviously because he's been very good friends, even though that they broke up with his mum and helping her out. So even Luke's in this book, who I love, who's his brother. Luke is the guy that was in the first book. He's my favourite. That's my favourite book of this whole series. Just a little Luke Williams little fangirl moment there. Anyway, so he's going with Mark, who's his younger brother, and they're going to the funeral. He's been there to support him. You know, Luke is there to support Mark, because Mark's going now and he knows he's going to see his ex-girlfriend. And he assumes that Jax is her new boyfriend, and he calls her Cupcake. So of course he's like, oh, he calls her Cupcake. That means they're together. You can call people nicknames. My mum calls me a nickname. That doesn't mean we're doing weird things to each other. That would just be wrong. Isn't that called incest or something? You know, when you have sex with your family. That wouldn't even be possible because we're two girls. God, this is going way off topic, but you know what I mean. Like, it was so typical that he was just going to think that was her boyfriend. He's gay. Where's your gay reader? Can't people who are straight have a gay reader, or is it just gay? Is it gay reader? Gay reader, whatever it is, that thing that they can tell when someone's gay, or is it just gay people that can tell? I swear I've met people who think, you're gay, aren't you? And they're like, yeah. Maybe I'm not straight. I am. I know what I like guys. So, not the girls are. Some girls are really pretty. I admire their beauty. This is getting off topic again. I am straight. I'm sorry for making this all something else. But anyway, it was just annoying that he typically, of course, he thought Jax was her boyfriend. He couldn't tell that they weren't a couple, because even though they just touched each other, but they weren't kissing or anything. It was just annoying. But anyway, yeah, so he sees at the funeral, and then he leaves like pretty soon after, so that he doesn't get to see, she doesn't get to say goodbye really. And they see each other again, and you know, they haven't seen each other for 10 years, so they say some sweet stuff, and it's quite quickly how they kind of get back to being a couple, sort of, like in between. He like wants to hang out with her, and they start talking to each other again. She sees him again because she's a dancer, obviously, and she's come back, she's bought a studio, and she's actually living back in the town where they're from with Jax, her gay friend, who's a dancer. They bought a studio for, you know, school kids who, you know, like teenagers and toddlers, that sort of age, like if you're like 5, 10, 15, 18, something. I think it's like that kind of age group. It's a book, I'm not supposed to know all this stuff, but I do. And Mark's whole family are there to watch them, because I can't remember who it was, but it was some of like the Williams family who now have kids from the previous books, obviously. Some of their girls, I think it was from the 5th book, Safe With Me. I think it was the 2 6-year-old girls. I forgot their mum's name. I know the dad was called Caleb. I forgot the girl's name. But anyway, it's her 2 kids who are 6. And I think it's them that they're in the class, aren't they? So that the whole family get there to watch them play. And Mark's there, and he's next to Jules, who's from the 2nd book, and she's happily married, and she's had a baby. But of course, what's her name? Meredith, who's been away for 10 years, so she hasn't catch up on the family. She doesn't know who's with who, who's got kids. And she sees the crowd. She sees Mark. She assumes that Jules is his wife, and he's got kids, because I think it's Jules' kids. He's on Mark's lap. Just because he's the uncle, you know, but she assumes, oh, he's got married to, you know, she thinks that Jules is his wife and he's got kids, and she's kind of heartbroken for a second. She goes to talk to him, and then she realises that he's not married, he doesn't have kids, and I think he kind of picks up on that she's kind of happy that he hasn't really got kids. And then he goes to talk to her, and he says, well, I'm not married, I don't have kids, but hey, how's Mr. Charming or something, he says. And she's like, what are you on about? Your boyfriend, Mr. Perfect. And she's like, who? He's like, your friend. She's like, you mean Jax? He's gay. And he's like, oh, and it all clicks. And then he smiles, and they're both happy, like, oh, you haven't moved on, I haven't moved on, even though it's been 10 years. So he gives her a phone number and says for her to call him. And eventually she does call him. And then they kind of go out on a sort of date. I would say it's a date. They haven't seen each other for 10 years, and it's awkward, but they're still in love with each other. And he packs like a blanket, and they go near the water and the grass, and they catch up. I don't really need to talk about all this, but she tells him that she's been with other guys, and she hasn't fallen in love with anyone. You know, she left because of this, and she wishes she could change things. New York was amazing. This thing happened, and I didn't become those girls that got into, what's it called, becoming super skinny and forced my food to come up and all that sort of stuff, and I had a mean teacher, all this sort of stuff. And he talks about, yeah, I went to college and I got this degree, but I'm actually doing building. I didn't want to become a scientist, all that sort of stuff. And they talk about that they still want to try and be something, and they still have things for each other, and they're all catched up basically with their lives. And he comes back to her place and he stays the night, but they don't have sex. Did they? I can't remember. I don't think they did. I can't remember. I think they didn't have sex. No, they didn't. I'm pretty sure they didn't, because even her gay friend Jack said, he was like, hey, how dare you take my friend and you be with her one night and then just screw her. But nothing really happened. They were back, like, kind of getting back into a relationship. So she goes back to see the Williams family, that sort of stuff, and connect. And what's his name? The Luke's sister who hates her. Oh, I forgot her name. Isn't it Sam? Isn't it? I think it's Sam. She hated Luke's girlfriend, now wife. She's friends with her. She seems to seems to be very protective of her siblings. So she kind of like hates Meredith, because she's like, you broke his heart, so I don't trust you. But they do finally become friends again when she realises that she's good for him, and they can be good together, you know, blah blah blah, all sorted out sort of thing. Same thing with Natalie, who was with Luke, and she's like, I don't trust you, oh, you bitch, just stay with my brother. But it all figured itself out. And then what else was there? They had cute baby moments again, of course, where she was thinking about having kids with him because she loves him, and he's thinking about having kids with her because she's so natural with them, that sort of stuff. One thing I did like that happened, I can't remember when this was, I think it was like the middle of the book or something. They were around the Williams family again, and Mark's phone was, you know, lit up because he was getting like photos and text messages and missed calls or whatever. And Meredith looks down, sees he's getting like pictures of boobs of these girls who are saying, come and fuck me, are you free tonight, sort of thing, because he has been with other girls as well, but wasn't in a relationship with them like he was, because he was in love with Meredith. So they're kind of like, he's like a one night stand kind of guy, not anymore, but he was. And it kind of hurts that she sees that, and they got into a fight because of it, and he was just like, and he has a fight with her as well, because Jax gets a boyfriend in the book, so they get a gay love, which is amazing. And they're at the airport because Jax and Meredith went away for a dancing thing in New York or whatever, and they came back. And Jax's brother, I forgot his name, but Jax's boyfriend says to Mark about them getting an offer to go back to New York and go back on tour with the people that they dance with and whatever. But he doesn't actually tell Mark that they turned it down. So Mark is like, oh my gosh, she's gonna be leaving me again? How could she do this after you know what happened when she left him last time after 10 years? So that's when the fight kind of happens, because they get back home and they're both mad at each other. And she's mad at him because, even though I understand why she was mad, but she didn't really have reason to be mad, because it's in the past. But I still get where she was coming from. It made sense why they were both mad. He was mad because he was thinking, oh, she was going to leave town and she hasn't told me anything about it. And she's like, I didn't tell you about it because I said no to him. I told him I don't want to go because I'm in love with you and I want to stay here. And Jack said the same thing. He's like, oh, okay. And she's like, I'm mad at you because you're getting texts from these random girls. And, and he's like, they still have my number. So he gets rid of the girls' numbers and tells them not to call them anyway. So she makes them sleep on the couch while she cries to herself to sleep in the bed. And everything gets okay again. And I can't remember what else you need to really know. What's his name? Sam, who's with Leo from book 4, which is Rock With Me. They get that wasn't... This is what happens in Vegas, but this isn't why they're really there. It was the couple from the 3rd book, which is Play With Me, which was the famous football player or whatever it was. I forgot his name. Who fell in love with the doctor girl. I forgot their names, but anyway, they're going to Vegas for their bachelor party, whatever, because they're getting married. And Leo and Sam get hitched in Vegas, just like the next day. So that was a very fun night. That happened. That was the next morning though, but the night of that was really fun. The girls were alone, but Jax was there because he was gay, so he was with the girls obviously. And they all started talking about sex again. I love this when all the girls start talking about sex and saying orgasms and how do you spell cock. And it's just really funny, and funny things happen. They get drunk and they say silly things, and it was hilarious. And the guys were playing poker. The girls all decided to go in the bathroom, and they got Jax to take pictures with them sending like parts of their body, like boobs and that, to their boyfriends, and they took a picture of Jax with all the girls. And Jax he kept trying to contact his boyfriend, but he didn't know that his boyfriend was surprising him. He was actually with the boys and going to surprise Jax that he was in Vegas. It was Mark's idea, and Meredith didn't even know, and that's his girlfriend, so it was no surprise that he got to go. What else? So they did all that, and the guys were playing poker, and they were talking about, you know, girls and the girls that they love, and they're getting married. You know, what's his name, the one that plays the footballer, he was saying, I'm getting married, I'm so excited to my girlfriend, and we're having fun. And they get all their phones go off, and they get the text from their ladies, and they think, oh, it's time to go and collect our girls then. And it's just really funny when you read the book. It's just hilarious, and they all go there and they find all the girls doing really weird things. One girl's in another guy's lap, and one girl's got her like head between another girl's breasts because she's like, you know, drinking the shot off her, and one's dancing and whatever, and Jax, he says boyfriend's here, and all that sort of stuff. It's amazing, and it's just a really good episode. It's a very good episode. It's just a very good chapter. I love when they do this. There's always seems to be, in like every 2 book or something, there's like a really good funny scene. It just makes you laugh your head off, and you can see it in like real life where, you know, the girls or the boys are just having a complete laugh and just acting like they're teenagers again, but also being adults. It's just really funny. It makes you laugh, and just like, oh, that's true life. That's what friends are all about, people doing stuff like that. And it's just really funny, and they talk about sex and stuff, and they get pissed, and it's just fun. They always do something a bit funny and crazy. I just love, that's another thing I love about the series. They just make things, the romance isn't always completely so serious. You get some really good comedy and some really good family moments in there, even though it's not real, but you know. And well, so yeah, so I said Sam and Leah get hitched in Vegas, and the family comes out and all that, and they see the kids, and they go back, and oh yeah, what's his name? Mark gets in the accident, he's a builder, and if you didn't know, Meredith lost her mum of cancer. Her dad and her little sister died in the car accident, and we get the flashback of that actually. Well, it's not a flashback. You get like it's more like it's happened to her. She's remembering it in that moment, but it feels like we're actually there. Because we're saying Luke comes to tell her that when she's at the studio with Jax, whether that Mark's been in an accident at work, and they don't really tell you enough of information, so you're not like, has he died, or is he just injured his arm or his leg? You know, it's one of those things where like you get a phone call at like 1 AM and they're like, oh, your wife has been in an accident, and they never tell you like, oh, she's just going to be alive. She's just injured like the side of her face. You know, she's just going to be, you know, bandaged up for a few weeks. They don't really, or it sounds like either way. You're like, oh, she's going to die in like 12 minutes. They don't really tell you, just to make you worry a bit. And she gets there, and Luke's trying to drive her to the hospital, and the whole time that's happening, she's kind of reminding when she was at school, and the headmaster pulled out of the class, and her mum tells her that her dad, which is her husband, and the sister, which is the daughter, that they died, and they had to go and say goodbye to them at the hospital, and it's really sad. And then, so of course, Meredith's terrified that she's going to lose, not Luke, that's the brother, lose Mark, because she loves him, and she breaks up with him again while he's in hospital, of course, because she loves him too much, she's scared to lose him, sort of thing. Because I think, I understand why she did it. I don't think I would have done the same thing, but I kind of know where she's coming from. It wasn't that she wanted to break us up, but I think just, it was like in a life moment thing. It's one of those things where something is going through your head and you think that something's right or something's wrong. It's more that because she was reliving what happened to her mum, you know, dad and sister, and wasn't really thinking clearly. It's kind of like when you're mourning someone, you know, you might do silly things and stupid things like get pissed or say something really hurtful to a family member because you lost like your dad or something like that. It was kind of one of those moments where she just kind of didn't want to be with him, even though she did. She regrets it anyway, but he goes after her and he wakes up and he puts some sense into her, which I liked. He's like, you rather like not be with me just because you're afraid you're going to lose me. We all could die tomorrow, which I love, because that's true. I could get killed by a car tomorrow, get hit by a car, you don't know. Or the earth will end. You don't know when you're going to die, do you? So all that sort of stuff. So she finally like says, yeah, you're right, let's be together. And things are all kind of good from then. We find out, I'm probably missing a few things, but they're not really important. I'm just trying to do the highlights and stuff. But another thing I really loved was when the ending kind of part, where we're coming to the end, there's not long left. And we find out Jax is talking about her having a secret, as she told Mark yet. And I kind of knew what it was, and I was actually right. I was like, oh, It's going to be that, and I know, please tell me I'm right, and I was like, yes! And she's like, no, I haven't told Mark yet, but I'm going to soon. And she's at the studio, and they're going to be, the girls are putting on like a show for dance, and all the family are there. She's sad because Mark isn't there because he's meant to be at work. But after the show, each girl comes up and gives her a rose, and she turns around and Mark's actually there, and it says, please marry me, and he gets down on one knee. So he actually wasn't at work, he just told her that so that he could get everything ready for the proposal. So he asked her to marry him. Of course she cries and says yes, and I was like, yes! And then she decides to tell him her secret, and he's like, you're not really, which of course she was pregnant. And she's like, yeah, is it good? She says her exact word, which I liked, was, is this a good time to tell you that you're going to be his father? And he's like, what? She's like, yeah, I'm pregnant. And then he asks her if that he can tell the whole family. So tell the whole family, she's pregnant, I'm going to be a dad, and they're engaged, woo! So it's all happy, happy, happy. And that's where the book kind of ended. Well, you know, it didn't end just like that, but you know, that's where it ended in a happy ending. We found out that they got together, they figured out all the... It was a good book though. It was a book about a couple that, you know, had been together before, and they could have moved on, but they never did because they were the one for each other, and they had to go forgive each other for the things that they had done to each other, and the things that they can't change that they've done, being with people and all that, and the time that they lost being together, and their fears, because, you know, Mark had fears that she would still leave him again, that she wasn't going to stick around because she broke his heart that first time, she just dump him again. But they, you know, he makes her understand that she needs to stay, and she has fears that he's not going to be faithful because the guy that he came when she left was kind of, you know, being a bit of a man-whore sort of thing. He wasn't that bad, he was a lovely guy, but when he's with her he's not like that. And it was just sweet. We got to see her come over her fear of losing Mark. I keep wanting to say Luke, that's the other book, the other brother, because she lost all her family members. It was just kind of her, but she has the William family now anyway, and they're trying to figure out how to be together and go through all the, you know, getting through their fears and that together, and realise that they can trust each other again, and it works, and they get the happy ending. She gets engaged, they're going to get married, and they're going to have a baby. It was a lovely book. I really enjoyed it. I really think you guys should read it. This definitely was my favourite second book out of the whole series. That's number 2. I did really enjoy it. The book, I can't remember how long it was. I think it's like 9 or 8, 7 hours or something like that. It's around that sort of area. It's less than 10, but I think it was like 8 or 750 or something like that. It was something like that. That's how long it was. It was good. It had like over 20 chapters. I think it had like 20. It might even had 30, I think it was like 23 or something like that, but it might have been more. It might have been like 37 or something, I can't remember, but it was something like that. But yeah, it was really good. I'm not sure. I want to say who I enjoyed more, if I enjoyed Mark's point of view or Meredith's. I think there was more of Meredith's point of view than Mark's, but I think Mark was my favourite. I loved listening to Mark's point of view more. Not just because he was a guy, but he was an interesting guy character. I mean, he was like Luke, because he's his brother. He had that same kind of like romance to him, but he was completely different on his own as well. He was like a completely different person, which I enjoyed. It didn't make him, the author doesn't make every character seem the same. Like, oh, they're going to be romantic and be so gentle. They are, like, you can define the characters. They are like, I know they're not real, but if they were real life, you could tell that they're like a group of family members that have, they have similar things to them because of the way that they're brought up, but they're their own person and like things differently. But it was a good book. I did enjoy it, and I did enjoy reading the whole series. So yeah, that's the end of this review. Yeah, definitely go. And this was the spoilers section where I talked about the spoilers. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I love you. See you guys, my VIPs. Thank you for watching, and like this video and subscribe if you want more. If you want more of me not talking properly. I love you guys, you're my VIPs as I said, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!